All right. Going live here with part 3. I'll wait for folks to jump on and then we'll get going. Here. Where are you? You're probably going to want all the notes are here. Antibacterial soap, 1 week out. Let's just make sure we look at that after.
Yeah, I gotta wait.
Okay. All righty. Oh. So, I'll get my volume right here. And let's see. Got a real clutter here, don't I? All right, move them off to the side. And mixing colors for hours today. This painting has a lot of colors. Woke up a few of the ones from last week, meaning they were still, the colors were still there, but maybe I had to add a couple of drops of paint to give it more body and, you know, that kind of stuff. So it's been pretty easy. Lots of colors. Probably about, I'd say somewhere around 10. They're all kind of a map out thing here. And we've got the smaller one we could put. I'm going to block this here for a second. I'm going to still wait a little bit, just a minute or two, just to get people on here. Okay, so we've got the Blair synthetic paper. I used to paint on clayboard. I'm saying I used to. I have some clayboard in stock, but I started trying Drew Blair's synthetic paper, and I'm hooked. It is my new go-to substrate. Okay, not that I will never use canvas or other things. I will probably for different purposes, but just adjusting this a little bit here. Okay, so we got Michael. We've got Grumpy, RC Flyer. Good evening. Patty, how you doing? All right, guys. So I've been mixing today with my Eclipse. I was reading in my notes. I have a Drew Blair notebook. When I went to his school, I went to 2 different classes, but they were like 2 weeks. You stay down there. And I just was reading in my notes that to try not to use the Micron, I don't know if he still does that, but the Micron, when you're mixing a lot of opaque paint, the Micron's little nozzle, when you're doing like mixing after one after another, it said in my notes to use, you know, maybe another gun or something that's a little bit like my HP Plus or this Eclipse. My Awada HP Plus guns, I have 2 of them. They're both on the blink. They're both they both need needles, but there's no paint coming out of either of them, and it's just Murphy's Law, I guess. You know, that 2 would go at once, but got to get to working on them with the Microns up and running. Micron, I'm switching this out. My Mac valve, for anybody that doesn't use the Mac valves, newbies, is the one that I have is leaking. Just, you don't even know it's leaking. You can almost not hear it, but it is seeping out. And it's the Mac valve, I believe. So that's why I have 2 hoses right here at the desk. But the reason why I'm switching this out right here is because this is the one I mixed with all day. And it's time to, you know, just put the Micron on it and know that I won't be making my compressor go on and off for, you know, throughout the feed, wasting. Just, it shouldn't have to go on and off like that. So let me just get this on here. Okay. All right. So my Micron, you know, the old CMSB, side bottle, side cup, whatever you want to call it. All right. So in this painting, there's going to be little touch-ups, little repairs. And I do have a color of another painting to demonstrate repairing, because I think it's bigger. The repair on here is nothing. It's a little scratch. So let me put this up here, and I've been wanting to repair this for a while. It's a nothing repair. It's just a jet that had damage on it right here. And I'm going to touch that up quickly, hopefully, because I only made one color to touch it up. But the thing is, it should be a match. So let me just get my air going through my volume coming in here with this. Okay, here we go. So we've got, I just put on here CC, basically, correction color. Okay, white. And if there's a blue shift, which is what happens, oh, there's damage over here too. When I say damage, I mean fingerprints. So I know we're painting the fox tonight, but I thought I probably should have done this in the middle, because if people come on real quick and say, well, what's this? But this is what I just did. I just want to show you a repair real quick. And then from there, we will go to the fox painting. All right, so oop, that's too thick. Got to put a little 40-20. Usually I have my own little bottle because I bought the big one. And this all got smeared off. The mic I wrote on here with the Sharpie. And it got smeared with paint and grime. So I put a new piece of white tape on there and some shipping tape over it. So that won't get all whacked out. The reason why I have the smaller bottle is I didn't buy the 40-12-21 rather. I bought the big 16-ouncer. I heard how great it was on the internet, and I thought I can trust my artist friends, and I was so happy I bought it. So if you get recommendations from people that you can trust, just do it. All right, so over here, I'm just going to aim this way. I'm going to wipe this out, just kind of take it out. I am going to paint the fox. That's a big damaged area, so I better be careful. But I'm going to just try to do this little demo here. A little baby one right at the top. Okay, so the opposite, if you got blue, I'm kind of basic color theory. If you have a blue color, the opposite of blue is what? So ask yourself that. I'm not going to give you the answer. Most of you should know that, but for newbies that come on, the color wheel will give you the answer. The opposite of a color is underneath it on the color wheel. So if it was red, the opposite of red is green, and the color wheel will show you that. So you have to have an opposite in here to help with this repair thing, because otherwise white over a dark color, just pure white, will be a no-no, because you'll get a blue, ugly blue shift. It only happens with the white, and it really happens a lot more with whatchamacallit, the airbrush world. It happens in Vault. So I'm just hiding that. I don't know. Just went over it pretty good. There's a little fringe there, but okay, that's it as far as the white goes. Off-white, I'm not giving you the answer. I am going to recommend Drew Blair's Color Theory in a Box, because I'm telling you, I'm so psyched right now. I'm getting faster and faster at making exact color matches. Today I came in last night I couldn't do it for nothing. Last night I was just, you have an off night, so I tried to mix a couple colors. I made maybe one, but I was like, I couldn't match my colors the way I was taught by Drew. Just was off, it was off last night. Today I came in, fresh start, and I made my first color in about 1 minute, 2 minutes. No, sometimes a beginner could take a half hour or an hour because you're learning. I am getting it down to where I am getting exact matches, but I'm also getting it down to where, like Drew promises he says, if you do this and you put your time in, you're going to be successful with matching colors much quicker than you are suffering through. Remember, everybody, we are painting the fox tonight. I'm just showing you a touch up. There's my match. This looks a little darker value wise, but I took it from somewhere over there. And all that, I don't teach that. Patty C, I said hi to you. I said, okay, we got Color Graphics 49. Hello there. How you doing? Okay. We have about 7 people on board, and people that are jumping on board. Again, we're just doing a touch up on the sky of a jet, but that's not the project tonight. But this will help you see how something can be fixed that was damaged. I grabbed this finished painting with my chemicals on my finger, and when I grabbed it, it put a hole in the paint because it doesn't have any clear on it. And you can see the damage is over here too. And when that happens, you could give up. You could go, I just ruined my painting, especially this one, right? It was really big. And then you're like, oh man, what do I do now? This might need some golden color under there, so I might have to touch that up later. But let's just try to bring the original color back. All right, so right now we're kind of orangey, but this color is that dark. So I'm going to control it like a transparent. I'm just going to spray it on, air dry it a little bit, spray it on. It's starting to come back. I got to be careful. It's got a golden color over here, so I got to whisper it in. So I'll just go for the edge right for now. Now I'm just going to mist it over the overspray. So you can see it's being repaired. I might add a little more burnt umber to this color, but for now, a little bit more air dry. Let's just go over it one more time. There we go there. So it's repaired, but it's got a little, got to do a little dusting here. Got to get the overspray from that white. And I did not spend like a lot of time making this color. And now I'm seeing the burnt sienna is, trying to show up more. So I would have to, I will have to get a little burnt umber into that. I'm going to just try one thing before I move this painting out of the way. I'm going to put burnt umber directly in my airbrush like it's transparent. And I'm going to just mist over it a little, trying to put that burnt umber on there. There we go. That worked. Okay. So you can see how it can come together. I do want to probably bring the lighter color over, but I wasn't, going into all that tonight. I was just trying to show you how to fix the actual mess there. So let's see. If I took pure white and I sprayed it right here on that damaged area, it would go blue. It would look like a gray, blue, white. And that's why my repair color will help me cover the mess. Yeah, so we'll leave it at that for now. The hole is gone. That's still going to be touched up with another color. And then I'll probably bring this golden yellow back over, back this way, which will be another repair color. And then I got little tiny areas you can see where the white is still showing when I have my registration of my jet shape there. I was off evenly by a hair, and the cockpit's not done either. But there's the glowing sun. The airbrush is so wonderful because you can get so beautiful, so many beautiful, no brush strokes, nothing, just beautiful softness. Okay, so let the jet fly over there. And hopefully that helps a little bit. That wasn't a perfect repair because it needs more time than I thought. And that's okay because it's okay. I can go back to it. So we want to do the eyes. Forgive me for the zoom thing. I don't really have that down. That's good. I'm just touching the screen real quick with my thumb and my finger and getting that. So I'm using the Createx illustration colors, and they're wonderful. They're just wonderful. There it is, the color buffer theory. Drew's name is being blocked on there by let me see, by the paint that's spilled on it. So let's just see what's on the bottle here. Okay, so we've got made with light fast pigments. So it's light fast, it's durable, it's a durable resin, especially when you do the opaques. Features delayed curing, which I'm trying to read it. During the first 24 hours, colors erase softly. So it has a window of time for 1 day. And then on here, you could see Drew's name there, right there. It is for use with Drew Blair's color buffer method. And that's why I recommend his color theory, because you won't regret it. If you spend the money on the color theory, you will not regret it. And that's a given, because if you put your time in, if you purchase it and just let it sit and don't do it, of course you're not gonna get too far with that. So let's see my eye color that I have in the gun already. I'm wondering. No, oh yeah, the brown is in there. I was wondering if could use the color for the jet for the shadow on the pupil, but right now I have to go to the like I did the last time. I'll just use a little transparent burnt sienna, just to mist in a little color that can be worked out on the eyes. So as far as the pupil, I can still see the old one right in here, and I'm going to give myself a center point that I'll probably be able to still see. And I got to remember it's about that big, so I'm doing the center, and then I'm doing above and below right there, but it's an oval. It's not going to be a circle inside the eye. So let me put a little sepia into burnt sienna, I'm sorry. Sepia is black, almost like a dark brown, greenish almost. Okay, I need my little circle template. That's what I'm calling it. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pin this down. Keep my thumb over the other opening or else tape it off. So I'll just do that. Hopefully I'm not scratching anything. Got to be careful, especially when it's that 24-hour window. I'm just going to dust in here a little right out of the gun kind of color. It is dirty because I had the burnt umber in there. So I'll do that again there. His eyes are very orangey kind of at the bottom especially. So they just kind of hit the bottoms more like that. Again, this is very erasable, so you can mess around with it. Okay, so we've got the ghostly looking thing gone. The reference picture is right there. And it's duller, but I have a base in there at least to work with. I just wanted to get rid of that white that was taken out with a Q-tip. Okay, so let's back that out for a minute. That's not, the eyes aren't done. I can't seem to do this slow. It's got to be like little, I'm sorry for getting you dizzy. Okay, so we want to go back one more. I'm trying to go in between. I want to do it. All right, I'll pull my camera back a little. That's probably pretty good. We have some areas to work on here. Okay, so Get right to it with the, I'm going to look at the color of the pupils. I have a really big reference picture right here. And they are, whoops, sorry. They are beautiful. Yeah, it's black, but it might have some brown in it. But it's definitely, I didn't match that color, so. Okay, so let me put a whisper of, I think I might use sepia and black in a little separate cup. I'm using a little solo cups that pour the paint in. Get this color going. Just out of the bottle, no, you know, it's transparent. And now I need my black. I have my rolling cart behind me, which has paint on it. And I have trays all around me for, kind of like I'm in a little cockpit of Captain Kirk here, having things all around me. Like I said, I'm putting a little bit of, I put burnt sienna in it too. Just then I'll just get out the old paintbrush. And this is still transparent. Probably put a drop of reducer in there just to wet it. I know that Createx says that you have to let that reducer, the 4021, you have to let it, as they put it, cook. You have to let it sit in it for a little bit to let it do its thing. But I didn't know that in the beginning, and I just was putting it in, mixing it, and spraying. But anyway, I try to follow the directions, but I just put a little drop in there now, and it's been working for me for the tip dry and everything. So let's just put a little bit on here. Nope, that's too thick. Just the way it's pouring out. Okay, here we go. That's a little bit more flowing. I'm just testing on a piece of paper down below from the air volume, including, oh, this is tiny, man. This is tiny. So being that there's no circle template, before I had a tiny little circle template, and it was nice looking, but then I looked at the reference picture and I was like, wait a minute, this thing is an oval. So I'm going to be reaching around. I can't really, I want you to, I got to look at the cell phone and see if you can see. I'll do this eye, okay? Because if I block, you won't see. All I'm going to try to do right now is put a dot there to see if I'm aiming good. I'm going to go up. I'm going to go down a little bit. Whoops, I missed. Okay. So you're going to see me how I repaired that. The reaching around the phone to do this is too difficult for me. But let me show you how I took that out. Okay. Because that didn't work out, obviously. I missed. I got to be straight on. So live feeds, you know, you got to, when you're doing a video, I think when you make a mistake, or I think the most valuable lessons are in seeing the artist make some mistakes. And that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. But I really think that when I had my classroom classes and was teaching in my building that I had a store, I really and truly, the students were right there with me. They saw the mistakes. They saw everything. And therefore, you know, they got a lot out of it. So it's nothing wrong with that. It's a good thing. All right. So I've got to pick what I want to work on right now. I'm going to stay away from the oval in the eye. You saw me start to do it. Because if I aim straight, this is perfect for me, but all you're going to see is that. If I aim straight and I paint that in, I would start with a dot, you know, and then from there I would get my oval going. And it's very challenging because you're talking about microscopic, you're not talking about a big area. It's easy to do an oval, like what I'm saying, for example, would be to do that dot, find your, whoops, tip dry, find your center like that, and then you would either back away and you would get a fuzzy pupil like that, which is really nice for realism, right? Because sometimes the stencil look just is not what's going on in the picture, where it's too sharp. Or you can hold the stencil. Let's use the really big one here. You could use the stencil and just hold it off the surface a little bit and have less than a perfect, edging. Or you can, and then as far as an oval, you get this going this way where you find your center and you go up a little bit and down. I'm probably blocking you. Yep. And then I would start to fill in, kind of getting the oval look. And it's not even a perfect oval. It's distortion. The larger photograph, so get different size photographs. This one's for you guys, so you can have a reference while I'm painting. This is my, where is it? It doesn't have nothing on it. Just one second. Well, it's supposed to, oh, here it is. It's in the dresser. No, in the art desk drawer. So that's a 5x7. And that gives me pretty good help. But this big one gives me, it lets me see the super details. Now, if I was working on a very large painting, look at the eye. Look at this. Look at the reflections and stuff, right? If I was working on a, an 18 by 24 or maybe a 12 by 18 or 11 by 16, then everything would be larger. But when you get your reference picture, say you're going to work on a 5x7, get the 5x7, get a couple of them, but get your 4 by, whatever this is, it's 4x6, I guess. And sometimes they crop them because I don't have my own printer set up. But you get the different sizes, and that way you can have the nose blown up even bigger, or you could take a section that you don't understand and have the photo blown up and have bigger reference areas for that. Okay, so let's see. Let's get this backed out a little bit more again. Bear with me, guys. This zoom thing is my flaw. I'm going to go on YouTube and find out how they do it. I don't want it there. I want it right. I got to see, Steve Leahy doesn't have to worry about this. He has all these wonderful cameras. Tone, how you doing? I'm having, there we go. That's a little better. Okay. All right, guys. I'll tilt that up a little bit. So that's pretty much it. There's the reference picture. This is not like on the bigger picture. I had it lightened. Okay, it's not even this one. It's this one. The little picture, the first pictures I sent over to Walgreens were too dark. See that? No color. Look at the green though. Look at that light green. It's like a, it's like a moss green with white in it and other colors. So having different references is great. And also having a reference picture that's not shiny. I used to get that, but I'm using Walgreens right now. Sometimes the stuff from Staples was coming out dull, too dull. But having non-shiny paper, because my whole picture is going to be like this in the end, right? Flat. And that's it. You would just go with that. The drawing's on the back. And let's start with something here with the fur. Okay, because I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to work on the eye where I'm comfortable with the position. Can't get around that. There is a little black on this. This is like a brown, but there is a black on top of it in the center. So now that looks more like the photo. There also is more tanny fur coming off the back. The other leg is cutting into the picture, as you can see in this one. See that back there or right there? I didn't allow for that. I allowed for the shape, but I buried it under the dark. So you just keep moving forward and you work it. This will be more black in here. So I've got some speckles. So I want some of the brown in the tail to still show, but I'm just trying to mimic what I'm looking at. There's a little, might have been splatter from when I was working on the thing. There's also going to be, these are going to be darker. So let's see if I can come in here, come in from the side. It's such a small painting. I have to make sure that I keep seeing that you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to just whisper in over the brown. I'm not going to, I wouldn't spray that black on top of that white. It would be so stark. But because I already have an underneath color, I can work around that and gray it down a little bit, right up higher, right up in there, like that. So the ear starts to look like the one in the photograph. Closer, closer, you know. But I've sprayed, like if I spray the black right on the pure white, it's going to be too black. It's not, you get a velvety kind of nice look here. So let's go in here and see if we can go between that little shape. Showing off the pieces of fur a little bit more. Right here. This is the soft out of focus fur that I can come back to with a color and actually still do some soft fur in there. I see pieces that are more than I have allowed for in this little freehand thing. Microns, love microns, right? Okay, pretty dark in there. Let's go over here for a minute and let's just think about the darkness coming out towards the brown. Go after the tip dry. A little feather stroke in there. I'm just worrying about in tight, like right in here. There we go. Just get that. It's very dark in there, but there's a lot of light fur that's popping back out. And I'm going to have to add to that. Now, as far as the edge, this should be a challenge. I'm going to try the aggressive eraser. The edge of the ear is, it's got some soft, it's not the white of the paper, but it's light. But I might have to, I'm going to just try it, see how this works out for a minute. It's going to be very aggressive and it's going to kind of just take it off. Just in a small area. Just going to push that up, allowing the lighter color. I got too much of a point. I got to get it to be more chiseled looking. That'll allow me to put that soft color back in there on the edge. I'm turning the eraser to get the cleaner section where there's no paint. So try to do it with one hand here. And I'm just going to run it right on up. Now I'm starting to turn the eraser in my twirling it so that I can have a cleaner eraser to give me that white back on the edge. That's not the final color at all. It's going to be, well, here's an example. This white right here. See the blue? Okay, now I know this is on the camera. I don't know how you guys see it. The white of the photograph, this is the bigger one, That's not pure white. That's almost like I have cerulean in it. I have black in it, gray in it, right? Started with white, speckle of black, start graying it out. And then I start searching for where is the hue? Oh my gosh, it's blue. It's got a blue in it. Look at it on the camera there. But it's not something I wouldn't just go optically and try to figure it out. I would try to do it the Drew way and get the color. Okay. And if you want to know the Drew way, I already told you, I don't want to get you guys all frustrated, but I'm not teaching that color theory on here because, first of all, it's too involved. Second of all, he has the course and he's the expert, and I would be doing it kind of like halfway, and it would be kind of, as I talked to Drew about this, it's I'm not the expert on that anyway, but he's selling the kit with his expertise. It's about so much stuff that, plus, like I said, it's let the expert show you, and you could pay one time. You pay one time for it, and you own it for life. So and like I said, it's not something you can just teach in a minute. That's why you buy the course, because you own it. I went to his classroom and I still bought the course because I learn by repetition. I learn visually, and that's what it's all about. It's very visual. It's not just talking. He's demonstrating the whole 9 yards. Okay. So I'm thinking to get a little background in here, get rid of the white more. But let me just think for a minute. All right. I'll get a little more color in here. So I have to get that black out of the gun. When you're doing something super, or trying to do something super real, and you're doing it on a video with no editing, no take out the parts you don't like, all that kind of stuff, or time lapse, high speed, no talking, or talking over a video, with like the art workshop. He talks over his videos. Oh, I highly recommend that channel. Mark's channel, the art workshop. You will love that channel. He has wonderful demonstrations and paintings, and he actually lets you paint along with him, where you can. You got to go on the channel to see what I'm saying. The art workshop. Not only does he talk about all the airbrushes that are out there and demonstrates cleaning or demonstrates, new airbrushes. He paints black and whites. He paints faces, everything, and he has his own style. And I go on and watch it, learn all kinds of stuff myself. We're constantly learning, right? I'm a teacher, but who am I at the end of the day? I'm sharing what I know, and I'm doing the best I can and trying to give information out, and that's it. Okay, so we're going to get that tan color, and I've got the big thing will tell me. So I have a little number on here. It says number 8. See the number 8 on my thumb? That's the spot. And then I mixed up number 8. I think I might have made a number 8 twice. Okay, so I have 8 in opaque, and I also have it in transparent. The difference is opaque is very unforgiving and covering. So it's not the area I necessarily want to put that in, because I want little scratches of fur. Let me take that out. In there, I want to see, I want to be able to etch out some fur and then lightly spray over it again and go on and on like that. And just lighten that a little more. This is way later. I mean, this last week I did this. So it's still erasable, but like Createx says, there's a super easy window of time in the first 24 hours. So I'm going to take Look how dark the transparent looks in here. Okay, let me just make sure there's any more comments. Hey Gary, how you doing? And Tony, I hope you heard that I said hello. I'm doing good, Tony. Yeah, good to see you on here. Wow, that's great. Todd, how you doing? Thanks for popping on. Let's see if I got my California guys. I tagged some people. Dan, how you doing, Dan? Um, I'm just scrolling here a little bit. Okay. So hopefully, some of them are busy out there, but Roy Johnson, I tagged him, and Eric Williams. Eric is starting to, his paintings are so beautiful. I mean, the man almost paints in a suit. You know what I mean? He just, oh man, he's dressed to kill, and he's painting these paintings, and they're coming out gorgeous. Black. He did a black and white. I don't remember the girl's name of who he painted, but I saw it, and he put the red lipstick on with the black and white painting. That's, I think, his latest. But whether he paints Michael Jackson or he paints for some celebrities because he knows people out there. I don't know a lot about his scene, but he does paint for celebrities, and they buy his work. Okay, so we've got the same color almost, right? Right there. But look how dark this is. That's because it's a transparent, and you have to spray this super light. This is going to be sprayed 100%, but it's hard to scratch through. So I have two number 8s. I don't know why I did that. Maybe I started with the opaque, and then I just said, wait a minute, I need transparent. Okay. I'm still practicing my transparent mixtures because I didn't do them as much, and now I've got to, wait a minute, this gun's dirty. Oh, don't do this to me. Don't ruin my nice color. All right. The other way is to take if this isn't working for me, if it's too dark, because it was made last week, I can always use the opaque very lightly. Okay, I'm going to try this. I got to spray this super light. I'm going to just dust it in. So we're looking at his little nose right there, and we're going into the little light tannish area. All right, so you got to have something to work with, right? So here we go. We'll just try to spray it in super light. A little darker on the edge, not much. I see this little thing coming across here. Yeah, it's starting to get too dark when I go like that. Okay. Now what's going to make it look lighter too is the white little scratches and stuff. I'm going right on the nose. I want a little overspray of this onto the actual snout. Yeah, there it goes. All right. That's enough of that color there for right this second. All right. I'm going to try something as soon as I find my something. Yeah, this dowel got ruined. It's all chopped up at the tip. Okay. I'm just starting to use the dowel as I was using the Blair paper. You can't use the dowel on clayboard. That's a good example. Yeah, so I got a dowel from Drew's store along with an order, and ruined the tip of it. So I'm sure there must be a way to get it. But I have another dowel too. And of course, right at this very moment, I'm not seeing it. Where did I put it? Give me a second, guys. maybe it's in the, there. No, that's the one I just said is ruined. Oh, no, nope, that's ruined. I have the drawer in front of me that has all my stuff in it, but not necessarily the dowel. There it is. Nope. I grabbed the same one. Let me get that out of there. This is the other one. Look at the point on that one. So, I fed this into my sharpener. I don't know what I'm going to get out of the deal, but let me just try this to see. Let me look at the real big one here, the real big photograph. Keep that one off to the side. And yeah, I got a little burr there. These are tiny little marks. And they are put in, they're kind of like, I'm almost pulling away. Probably have to get in zoom on this for you guys. Okay. So what I'm trying to do here is get in around here and just pull with a sharp point. They're too big, a little bit smaller. And put in, I'm going kind of quick because there's going to be little sprays between them and what have you too. Can also use the X-acto knife. I'm going to try that. That's very, you got to be careful with the X-acto knife, but that's all I used to use. I think I'll be pulling down with this. Let me try it. Nope, this one wants to go up. Up, that blade is bent. I used to get my blades in the hundreds, 100 in a pack. I was in the sign business. So you'd buy 100 easily for the sign business. But I also had them for the airbrush school. So they're going up so much in price, everything. So I've just been over at Walmart and grab a couple of packs at a time. I know I'm spending more money in the long run, but when you need it, you got to get it. Just use the edge going up. It's not a very dark fur color, so you're not going to see much going on, but you are going to see something. Crash over some other ones. Some of the fur is going this way and that way. I don't know how much you're seeing here. This angle is going this way. See if I can go that way too. There we go. Okay, the blade will go this way. So I'll start going back down here, trying to do little baby marks and notches. They're little guys. Let's try to go up. You don't want to dig into the board, the paper. I don't know if this is the angle I'd be working on either. I might, this desk can tilt, so I might go into like another angle and stand up over it and have better control, that kind of thing, where you feel like you can really go fast and get some really nice little guys going on. You don't want to just put a little dot like I just did there. You want little baby. If you could get them dagger strokes, that would be great. Let's try this way. The blade does not want to go that way. And that's the way the blades are. I'm not using the tip. I'm using the very side of it. Trying to use it. They gotta be real short. That's another good stencil for Drew to make. We need, what was I asking? Thinking about, I was gonna tell him, make a stencil for something I was painting a couple weeks ago. But definitely short, little fur. I do have a stencil for the kind of fur that is like, I gotta put that back here. I don't know if it's gonna focus. Hold on, guys. Nope, it's not focusing. Too zoomed in. Okay, come on now. Where's my focus? Wow, what happened to my focus? All right. You can kind of see what's going on there. But in between is all of that going in between with other colors. It takes time. You've got to be able to, and this is tiny. This is only a little tiny painting. So you got to just go in and work it and take your time. Fur is back and forth kind of stuff. All right, so let's get a little color in here so that this can start. But I got to put the white in first. So, like I said, I have two whites, and they're almost blue. One is back here. It's kind of, I just need to have my little notes on my, yeah, right here, number 7, white area, base color. Yeah, but what is the forward one? Oh, number 11. So there's number 7. That's the color of the fur. And number 11. I'm just trusting it, guys. Meaning the blues. If I made them too off, then it's not going to work. But I'm a student of the color theory course too, and I'm learning. I guess my specialty would be like landscapes, sunsets, and things that are like more simpler. To me, it's simpler as opposed to fur on a little guy like this. Okay, so I'm just changing out the color. I'm going to flush a little cleaner through it to make sure it's not going to be that darker color. Okay. I know too that when you're watching these videos, you want to see things happen fast, and I don't blame you, but that's not how it would be if you guys weren't watching. It's slow moving. Some areas can move fast, like when I started filling in the bigger areas. Okay, so let's get the first white blue, and trust and hope that it starts to look right next to all the other colors. Bobby, how you doing? Okay. So I'm going to go in here. I do have my outer, but I don't have, I just have my total outside shape. Didn't I cut one for just the, I guess not. I'm going to just freehand it best I can. Now this bluish color is going on top of the white board, the white paper. It'll still look got to go back out more, guys. Goes up to here. Hope you can see it. I'm trying to look at the phone and seeing my where I'm aiming, what you're seeing. There's a pump stroke here just to find it. There we go. Underneath the nose is really dark. Goes up in here. And then it's over here. Hide the pencil line a little bit. I'm working it over here. There's other ways to paint. You'll see, like if you go over to Mark's page, there's many ways, many styles. So if this is frustrating to you because I'm making colors that are made before, you know, I'm not using a gravity feed, so I'm not making colors real quick. I'm just doing them as I go, and before it's beforehand. I just got to put a little bit up here. I don't even think it's this bluish color here, but I can always spray the white over it. Okay, so we've got like a really strong blue, but in reality, I don't know what you're seeing. It's not as blue in the picture. Did I just damage that with my fingernail? Oh boy. All right. Oh, it's not that blue there. Okay. I got to go bluer? Are you kidding me? I'm just going to trust it. I'm just going to trust that what I mixed. Boy, I made a lot of paint for a very little area. This is hard to believe. I know there's going to be white back on top of it in some spots because there's little whatchamacalls that go on in there. Two tones and things like that. This one had more cobalt blue in it. It's like a gray white. You can kind of see it. It's gray. It's definitely a gray white. But this one down here is not the same as that. The only way I know that is because of Drew. Okay, hang in there with me because I've got to put some. Okay, I'm just going to leave that, like this. I'm just leaving that for now. Because I believe the mixtures are dead on. But through my phone, like when I look at it here, it's bluish. Yeah, there's blue on there. But when I look at it on my phone, it's like it's bright blue. And it's not on the painting. So I don't know what you guys... Are you guys seeing too much blue in what you're viewing? Man, it's getting warm in here. I got to get the outer shirt off here. It's getting nicer this time of the year, but the house is getting a little warmed up, and the long sleeve shirt started to feel too hot. Okay, so let's get some color in here and around that and see how it goes. But if somebody sees too much blue, just let me know how it's looking to you. Use the bigger one to help me see this. Good. This is real blue on my camera, and this is the photograph. So I'm in the right spot. I just have to believe it and go forward. And that's taught by Drew. Trust it, because you might think it's wrong. And it can always be tweaked. Uh-oh, don't crash, don't fall. Whew. Saved by the bell. I got the rolling chair with the big high back. Just give me a second, guys. All my paints, a couple of paints went over from the chair hitting the tray. But they have the snap-on lids, so there's no spills. Actually, it was one color cup, empty bottle of white, and my water bottle. Okay. That white bottle's empty. Okay, so we're good. Let's just bring that tray back, give it more room. Oh, if you could only see this all. I've had my swinging back chair knock my guitar off a stand and got its first dimple in it. That was years ago. I brought it to my store to show some people and during slow hours, play a little bit, knock around. My brand new Strat. I swung around in my chair. Never happened at home. The chair fans out and has arms on it. Hit the stand of the guitar, and the rest was history. It's kind of like when you drop your Micron, but the guitar costs even a lot more than the Micron. Like, it was beautiful guitar, and I say was because I don't own it no more. I always lose my guitars to troubled times. Okay, gotta pay the rent. Okay, so let me get the, let's see, what do I want? I want the lighter color of, just give me a second, I'm looking at my painting here. So I need, actually it's the big boy. This one will tell me, do I have that? Yeah, it looks like it would be number 5 dark. Come on. Oh, number 5. The same color, transparent. The transparents can be sprayed lightly, and therefore they won't look, too dark. Number 5. Give me 1 second here. Okay. Get that white out of the gun. Okay, it's a transparent, so here we go. Okay, so I'm going to put I'm putting the lid back on this because very easily with the airbrush, just the air alone can blow these little color cups all over the place. And now I'm going to put up a piece of white paper up here. Not for a stencil or anything, just to show the color. Transparent. So when you spray it very lightly, you get that. A little darker, you get that. So I've got to control it. I've got to spray it very light. Okay, here we go. We're going to go up in here and just put a base color in, covering that white. I'm just misting it in, taking that white out. So already you can start to see there's some good things that get covered up. If I spray it darker, you'll start to see shapes, like up in here. The same color, the same, transparent color. Tip dry. Okay, now I'm going to come in from the side here and just dust this on. at the edge it gets redder, like that. Same color, like I said, but okay. Just gonna give it some distant shot of mist. There we go. A little more over here. Now we get back into the middle. Further away, I really should feather stroke that. It's got like a little seam going on there. Put it pretty dark right here, but it's actually going to have a dark color go over it that's almost like that eye color, that's surrounding the eye rather, right here. Just stay with me for a second. There we go. Oh, it's empty. All right, where did I put it? It's like a reddish. It's got burnt sienna, burnt umber, red, cobalt blue, black, orange in this color, but there's no white. And if you spray a transparent light, you get all kinds of different things going on. The reason why a lot wasn't happening just then is because I didn't have a lot of paint in the color cup. From a distance, I'm going to just tint this part of the snout from a distance. And now we're going to get even. I got to just get this area. Got to find a way to work this without crashing into the painting. That's not going to be that color. It's going to be darker colors under there. Oh, a little bit too much paint. That's not good. Okay. I'm kind of pulling it back because I'm painting backwards actually for you guys to see this. It's not easy, but it's what I got to do. The dark pencil lines can stay because they are going to be dark areas that are going to be little hairs. This can have a little bit of this color on it right here. Just like that, a little, maybe I went a little too much, but it's there. Okay. Feather stroke coming in there. Another one here. just a little bit of color here. Kind of just goes right on top of those guys. Individual hairs. Try this. So you got to go with the curve of your hand here. Like that. And the curve is that way. You could actually turn the picture upside down. I'll do a few more hairs this way though. And hopefully you can see that. These have to be like really, they have to go in the right direction. So I want to get that going on there. That one's a little funky, but there are a couple in there that are funky. These are in there, but I got to reach around, do this. You're going to spray back over it too, so I'll just do it. Keep them short if I can. Like I said, I like this curve. I'm going to do little baby ones like that, but and then it starts going that way. These are straight. Kind of straight. Like that. I get a little too fat on some of these, but I'll just try to go slower here. Here's this circular kind of thing going on. Let's knock them back. Just tint them a little bit. Now I'm going in between the hair, the fur. This is a dark area, so kind of staying in that area a little bit. It'll be a darker color, like right here. Let's see if you guys can still see that. Yep. All right, so it's going to be dark right here. There's also the eraser that can be used. I'm going to try a Tombow. Tombos work good on with paper, pencil, graphite. Well, let's see. We have the chiseled one. This one is chiseled, so it might make too big of a mark. This is better than that dowel for right now. I got to be careful though, because they're very small marks. See, it's chiseled. So let's try to show that to you. So I took the X-acto knife and I cut it on each end. Like, where can I show you? Down here? Nope, you can't see it. Just take that and just kind of resharpen it a little bit right there. This comes off. Whoops. Be careful, you dummy. Okay. Photograph. It's also a it's like a dispenser, you know, where you can push the eraser up, hold it down, you push it back out. And I got a nice chisel on that end. Now I'm going to go to the other side. And I'm going to make a chisel there. And I got a point then. Nice. A little out of focus because I'm so close up. Let me try it. Let's see what I can get out of it. Can I get the baby ones? This is great, but it would be better for a smaller painting. A bigger painting, I mean. Because it has the friction and it's grabbing on nice there. Let's try it over here. Whoops, getting a little too... Let me come at it this way. I think the faster I go, the better off I'll be too. Now it's going to get painted over and tinted and all that kind of stuff, but some of this is soft too, though. They're not all hard edges. There's that nice angle. Now, what angle do I want? Curve, the natural curve, this way. So now I should take the real picture and put it in the same position so I can at least follow it along. Even this fur goes down into here. I don't think I can do that though. It's too old to paint. So I'll have to use paint to paint those fuzzies right there by my thumb out over the dark. Okay. Yeah, they're getting too fat. I gotta be careful. Bigger painting would be great, but you're getting the idea, at least a little bit, of how the fur can be started. And there's lots of layers and things, so it's not going to be like, it's not just going to happen like 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I got to go lighter. Let me just get a little something going on there. Use the tip. Getting a little too fat there. That's where opaques come back in too. You know, you can fix a lot of this stuff because an opaque color can make those things all smaller and smaller shapes. A lot of tedious work to do it, but that's how it's got to be done, and that's how it's got to be done. I usually work larger than this. Okay, so you can see the direction of the fur. So it's a good demonstration for that, but it's far from the photograph. But it has to start somewhere. There's not a lot of that going down in here because you've got, you don't really have that individual hair going on there. You have more of color, just texture and little things of color. So let me just knock this back a little bit more. Where is that reddish color? Right in the middle. Like that. All the fur got covered, but it still shows. Over the eyebrow. Right there. And right in the corner. And down in here, there's going to be like, get a little redder here. Just a little bit. Misting it onto the white right there on the edge. And over here, that's pretty good, but I'll have to use the white to kill that pencil line. Here, right in here, it comes down. Right there. It'll get dark in here. But it's not gonna be that color. It's gonna be like, I'll go real dark here. Give myself a map. That's not gonna be that color at all. Just showing the dark areas, like right here. It's gonna be very dark. But it's gonna be dark, like, let me get the color and put it in there. Where else can I tint over this a little bit? Just for now. Then you can go in between. Go in between these little guys. You can use shields on both sides of a piece of fur. Whoops, a little too wet. Oh, I don't want that. I made little marks, a little spider there, they're gone. Edge, 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 right here. There's a little color to the edge, it's soft. And it goes right off the ear, kind of like comes down here and goes on here like this. And it goes all the way to here. And that's kind of just that. And then the other side, it's all in here. And it's up here. I'm just talking about the darkest area. And it's way up at the top, but it's soft and far away, right there. Capturing the top where the hair separates. Let's just tint that again right there. All right. All right, it's the beginning of very thick hair that these little guys have to be like a dagger stroke, like that. Dagger. Get a sharp point. They gotta be like even smaller. I hope you can see that up there. Okay, so you get the sharper point, lighter pencil. Go in between them. Drawing this would be fun with a color pencil, set, because you can put it right where you want it. Dagger strokes, the pencil. Okay, so let's look at it from a distance and kind of see where we're at. I haven't been looking at the comments. I will right now. I'm sorry, guys. Hey, first of all, hi, Steve. I didn't know you were here. Okay. Love how you are building this. Painting fur gives me highs. That made my night. Painting fur gives me hives. Especially coming from you. That's great. You paint everything, man. Are you kidding me? You never get hives. I've seen you get a few boils. I'll be right back, guys. I am going to get a bottle of cold water. So we'll talk about that note after. All right, all right. I just got to get a cold water. I'm just getting a cold water. I didn't have enough in my bottle there. Okay, sorry guys. Yeah, I'm just getting ready to go live, and I get a phone call. You know, surgery's coming up, and the hospital's supposed to call around 2. And lo and behold, they call at 10 minutes of 7. And I'm like, I had everything set to hit the go. And I said, I can do that. I can answer your questions, but can it be under 10 minutes? And we talked very fast. I got a pencil. I wrote some notes. And right at 7, I hit go live. So it worked out. But it's just the hospital has to kind of know, just making sure the insurance is the same, making sure, you know, that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's just personal stuff, but it's that's ugly. Timing couldn't be any better. My wife waited till 2 o'clock. The lady said she'd call back around 2, and she never called. She called at 10 of 7. It's like, I'm already set to hit the live button. I typed in my title. I put in my picture, you know, in the so you guys can see a photo when the video's over. It's there, on and on and on. But I couldn't believe the timing, and it's all important. But I didn't want to start saying like, "Where were you earlier?" You know, that kind of stuff. I just let it be. Answered her questions and got off the phone. Okay, so I want to see something here. I know, Steve Leahy, you are super able to do very, very fine things with a paintbrush. Everybody that knows me, I have a little bit of a tremor that can get really bad at times. It's just something that I've dealt with through most of my life, but it's getting worse lately. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm 100 years old. I don't know. But I am using a colored pencil here just to put an outline around. Nice. It's a nice round. I'm getting a nice steady thing. I'm steadying my hand. So for anybody that has a little bit of shakes, I'm steadying my hand with, and this pencil could break right through. You know, matter of fact, I'm going to try the colored pencils that have, there's clear ones for burnishing. I'm going to try them for scratching, you know, because you can sharpen a point. You got to experiment, you know. But that's why I'm using this little Prismacolor right here, just to go around the eye, because it's there. Same here, I'll do it thicker. It can fit into the painting. It's not wrong to use mixed mediums, especially if you have a handicap. But this can also take away paint. You know, this could harm my painting because it could rip into the paint up in here, like just for a baby piece of fur. Watch, boom, boom, little guys, they're coming off. You know, I don't know if you can see that, but it's very fine, right on the top of the ear there. Okay, yeah, look at these little wiry guys, right? I'm gonna probably use the shield that I got with Drew, the hair shield, where you can spray that in perfectly because they're all curved. I'm just, you know, stencils are great. You just have to hide them. But when it comes to making a piece of fur or hair or anything, there's nothing wrong with using it to the max. So you got the curves. You got some really severe turns here. And you got to find that shape, which I do not know right now. They're really curly. So I probably would take this one and I would go in there. There it is, right there. And I would close it down and I'd spray through that opening. And I'm not ready to do that right now, but this is called the hair stencil. And it's by Blair. And it can make, he does a lot of portraits and stuff. It can make some beautiful, because the hair is really a sculpture of many shades and stuff. And then there's individual hairs, you know, that you'll show, right? But the thing is, you gotta just use it very to your advantage, I guess. Okay, so okay, we got this going on. I said, yeah, that there's a real chocolate browns going on inside. Chocolate browns, almost like these colors here. That's why I went darker here, because we'll start matching the actual where it belongs. It start just, I don't know if the word matching, but it'll fit in with the picture. Here, I can just do a little catching up here. It's a Prismacolor. I spray this in the end with satin Krylon clear, and I do have the Createx I didn't use yet. Yeah, I can, you know, this is another example too of going between a hair. So let's go in with the color pencil. How about that, guys? Isn't that great? I'll try it again. I don't know how to do the zoom with the cell phone. All right, so look at, I'm going to hold this right here. Now watch in between the hairs. There's some dark hairs right here. Just go between the hairs, and that's what you're going to do with the airbrush. You're going to get in there, and you're going to put it in. Let's do one more right here. See? They go between the hairs. And it all starts making sense as you get it. But I want to use the airbrush. I'm just saying that's how you do it with the airbrush. But for somebody shaky like me, you know, this is supposed to be skinny. So I put too much black there. There's a nice little bit of blackness in here. I can use that on. I'm just going to use it where I can. It doesn't hurt it. I'm being honest with you as far as my situation that will go in between the hairs. Now I'm pressing lighter. And I'm going to get a little dark there, a little dark there. And you start getting hair there, fur, calling it hair. And now the airbrush comes back in. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that, you know, the wonderful, come on. I'm sorry, guys. I keep apologizing. I don't know how to get this to zoom. That's my fingers there. My fingers on the screen. I'm trying to move it in like you would on Facebook or whatever. This is my one flaw on here. And I'm going to practice it. It's a little hard because it's a live feed. Can't really practice it. Just out of curiosity though, let's just do one of these little wire hairs with this pencil here. It's got to go to a point there. That's all. I'm not going to use that because it's too grainy. Because eventually, as you go towards photorealism, and you want it to be looked at under a microscope, as Drew said, you want to paint the size of a postage stamp and carry that thinking through the whole painting, so that say like when he's painting his helicopters back in the day, and you look at he did military art. When you look at the helicopter foreground, really sharp looking photographs. Realistic, patchy helicopter. But then you look at the trees in the background, whatever, and you won't just see every tree looking the same. You'll see like a dead branch. You'll see the faded colors, because he's paying attention from this corner to this corner and all the way across. And it's really, I guess sometimes it can be laziness for some of us, or say I nail this and I get this looking so real, but then you left out maybe the correct colors in the background, or he's just too bright a green, I'm hurrying it to get it done kind of thing. That's not good thinking, right? So when I heard him say that, postage size stamp, paying attention to every area, but then I looked at his work for the first time in '94. Some of his originals were leaning up against the wall, like Star Trek paintings, you know, that made book covers and all. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think I better go home. You know, no, actually another guy said that. He saw his work and he said, I'm out of here. And he cursed. He really did. He cursed, not at Drew. He was cursing at, he was frustrated that somebody could paint something so real that he wanted to just go home. I don't know if he came back. I appreciate the likes. If you do like the video, it helps the algorithms and it makes me know, you know, because not everybody, I know I have a lot of people from Brazil and all different languages and stuff. But if they're watching, now they won't understand me saying that though. But liking, if you really like the thing, and you can't comment in your own language, I can have it, translated. But liking it, helps move the algorithm. It also makes me feel good that somebody liked it. They really liked me, that kind of thing. Okay, what are we doing? We're getting the chocolate brown. So, as I said, if you're using this color cup theory, put your lid back on, snap it down. I've done that too, where I've had it like that and it dried out. Okay, so listen for that snap. That's my storage. There's my notes. This is my style. I mean, from learning from Drew, but this is still my style that he necessarily doesn't do the exact same thing. He has other ways of working it. But I had to come up with my own little thing, for me to have the system that works. Okay, so I'm going to start working on the face, right? Okay, so I need the brown. That would be on the big photograph. Okay, my big photograph. And it's really, it looks like it's black, but it's not. It's deep, deep brown. So let me find it. Where is it? There it is. Brown black, I called it. It's for the legs. It's for different parts of his body. In reality, though, I think I'm going to use the color inside the ear. You can see the difference. Oh, I didn't spray anything on here. You can see the difference just by maybe, this is really dark. This is a little more color. So I'm going to use this one. It was for inside the ears. I'm going to give it a little spin, a little shaking, or you can use your paintbrush and you stir up your paint that's been sitting around, side cup, right? And get that other color out, which was more like burnt sienna. And now I'm going to go on top of the areas that are darker. The paint, I'll put this off to the side because I'm zoomed in. So actually this can be, no, I don't want to mess with the zoom. This can be done. This is kind of blurry. This is not something you have to see up close. So let's just get this. Start making a little point there. Come off of here. I'm just looking real carefully. No paint's coming out yet. Hold on. Oh, it's still not it's still got the burnt sienna. Hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go to the other color. This is not dark enough, but let's just do a little. So I'm just gonna sweep it in like like that. And I'm wasting my time. I really should use the darker color because it's just second coating and then third coating. I will go up in here though. From a distance, pull the airbrush back, fire it in right there, right there. Now you start to see dimension, or you get dementia, or you could get hives. It depends on everything, right, Steve? Steve, your channel is so professional. And if anybody's on here that doesn't know Steve Leahy, then I'd be surprised. But from my new friends that jumped on, check out Steve Leahy, Leahy. And he's a Monday night live. He used to be on Facebook, just like me. And he's doing, I think, 6 to 8, give or take. Sometimes you don't do quite 2 hours. And go on there and watch him, man. He can paint micro paintings. But anyway, having said that, please do yourself a favor and subscribe to his channel. He's always, and then he'll guide you to other things that, has Instagram account and other things that maybe you need to follow, But his YouTube channel, it's over the top. And that man don't have the shakes. Not at all. He's got the steady hands of a pinstriper. I am going to look into, and I think you might notice the difference. I'm going to get one of those used. I have a bike in the bedroom, a stationary bike, and I know from in the past because I've dealt with the funky shaking hands from low blood sugar and things like that. I'm not talking about all this medical stuff for no reason at all. It helpful. Hopefully, it can help you guys that have some kind of little problem like that. But just know that when I got on that bike, the one that I want to get, the kind that's low on the floor with the back seat and all that stuff, because that will help me better than to have the one in the bedroom's no good. It's just too painful for me as a 70-year-old to sit on. I just can't. I can't do it. It's just too uncomfortable. And I'm going to get one of those little low riders that you literally are on the floor, and I can burn off adrenaline. I think that's the one thing I'm thinking that's going on right now. There's a lot of adrenaline in my system, and it's not being burned off. And I did bike riding years ago, and I tried it because of just learning about it. And oh my gosh, I'd come back from a little bike ride. I'd go into the studio and I'd start doing t-shirt lettering, and I was like a machine. I was as steady as the pinstripers and steady as you had to be. It was like, this is really my. I saved the artwork. It's up in the attic. Whoops, a little blowout there. I saved it because I wasn't able to achieve something like that before. I was getting a little too dark there compared to my painting. All right, a lot of erasing and more hairs that can all lighten up. But this isn't even dark enough. Let's get the black. I put it in where it is, but it's still not right. See, when I'm painting, even though you might see a little of that tremoring, for the most part, I work right past it. I just don't, I'm so used to having that problem that I just go and paint. But when I watch my video later, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's why I'm explaining it to you guys that are looking. Maybe nobody would even pay attention, but I don't like it. It's driving me crazy. It drives you crazy having that because you're using an airbrush. There's no stationary, like you saw me go around the eyes with the pencil. I locked in on the paper and I was good to go. But when you're in the air and you're doing a little tiny painting like this, especially, it doesn't feel too good because you can't control. You can't control it. I remember it was some kind of airbrush thing down in Atlantic City. I ran into Kent Lind, and I asked him about tremors, shaking. He really didn't know what to say because he doesn't have treming. But he said, I mentioned something about low blood sugar or diet like that, and right away he thought of his buddy there, good old Steve Driscoll. And I think Steve was there. I'm not sure. Terry Hill was there. This was years ago. It was at Atlantic City. My student bought a compressor there, one of those Micons, because Terry Hill, silent air on the wheels and all that kind of stuff. So it's good, It's just he told me to ask Steve. So, but he has a steady hand too because he's t-shirt business, whatever, Getting a lot darker than I wanted to, but such is life. I'll just make the painting be the value that it's coming out to be. Okay, so this is going to come up here. Get in real close. Tighten that up. Now, there's going to be black on the nose. I'll show you what I'm painting. Black on the nose and the whispering black on each side. When I say whispering, I'm going to be further away, just using my own lingo. A little more volume here, not moving my paint. So you're going to hear a little more air coming out. That's got a little more color in it, so I'll just leave that. Seeing some dots. Just taking my time, making the shape. Got to put a little more white on that side of that. I got a little carried away there. The big picture will help me with the nose, the giant picture. Where did I put it? Because it's zoomed in. Fox's nose is, got a little shine of blue on it. So I'll go right in the center. Turn the volume down now so that with the Mac valve. A little chip in the nose there. Okay, so this is going to come. I got to get that straight. Hold on a minute. Don't want to make the wrong shape here. All right, so it's going around and connecting. Okay, so let me get in real tight. Hopefully you can see it. Tip dry. First we'll go under here. I'm in the leg area. Oh, didn't want that to happen. Okay, so we'll go back to here. I think this needs more liquid in it. I'm not sure. I'm going to put a little 4012 in there. 21. Make it flow. Make it behave on response. I do have a new nozzle. And I do have a new needle. But I didn't put it in the gun yet. Like I said last week, I got it and it was like, let me test it again one more time to see how much better it's going to be with the new needle in it. And it was really acting up, but it didn't act up after I spent the money and got but I don't regret it. I mean, I didn't put it in yet. And if I have to get a new, I needed more 40, 21 in there. It wasn't moving. Still not moving that great, but there we go. Okay, that side of the nose. Now we're going to just kind of look at the big picture again. Go to the center one more time where I didn't get much going on. And get that little color in there. Tint over that light area with the black just a little. That'll be bluer. It'll start shining. Okay. So, yeah. I'm going to put a dot in the center. Better aim good here. I don't know if you guys can see. If I ruin it, I'll take it out. No, I'm not. I'm feeling the tension of it. You know, I'm going to hold off on that. Okay. Very far away with the airbrush. Go right under the nose. But like it's just a soft spray. And then under there. So I'm using the brown that's already there to capture some of this stuff that black on top of the white wouldn't work. There's already brown. Now that's brown. That's not black in there. So you can go in here. Iron it in. Let's look at it from a distance. All right, so now let's take it. We're almost at 2 hours, but let's take it back out and bring it. What's it? It said reconnecting. What the heck was that doing? Everybody that's been watching knows that I have trouble with the zoom. So I'm just going to leave it there for a minute. And I'm going to go in to the bottom here. I'm going to take a shield, which would be any curved shield, because it's not really going to be curved, but it's big enough to cover the area, just in this area. I'm just going to deflect some black paint onto the bottom of the green, keeping it out of focus. So that's really as dark as I want to get it, but it is there. I'll do this freehand by the face. It's really dark down at the bottom. I'll just do that freehand, just go like that. And that's it. I don't want to get rid of that green. I just want the woods to look further back because we start putting in, you know, we're going to be putting in the darks and the lights all back in here on the ground, and it's all blurry. Okay, now I have a color mixed up. Let's get the green. This is kind of a mess in here, so I'm going to take that out. That actually has this bluish gray that I made, but it's all kind of ruined right in there. So I'm just going to go in here with a wet Q-tip and carefully remove that. Might as well just bring it right on down. It's no big deal. I think that's probably enough. Yep, I crashed into the leg. So I should have stopped at that point. One more time. That's good. Just bring the leg back out a little bit. Okay, so now in between those three, well, that leg's going out on an angle. So we can put a little bit of color on there just to get that shown where that's going to be. It's really, brown would be better first, but I'm just dusting the middle like that. That's a leg out there. Okay, so let's get, what is the color? Foreground. Look at that color, guys. That's the foreground. It's almost like a violet. Okay, it's in there. I'll do a little bit more. In other words, there's a lot of colors. I could probably use the green from his background, the darker green. Let me get that first. It's in a separate area. Put a little bit of that in. This isn't that dark, but it's in there, so we'll just start with some kind of color. It might be like a little grass growing in there and forest floor, whatever. It's going to get very dark down here, so I'll just mist it in like that. Not too much green. It's back in the back there, and it's a little bit. Actually, that's a light piece there. The bigger picture helps me out. Yeah, I need my bigger picture. I need the 5x7. The little guy, everything changes with the different sizes. I lightened the color on the bigger one and that kind of stuff. No, I lightened it on the one that has all the stickers on it. So let's just see what I got here. I'll put a little bit out here. Far away kind of thing. A little bokeh going on. I'll put that in better with white, where there's like little highlights that are lit up. Get that purpley color going. Those little colors matter too in the long run. I could just do the background real fast with like squigglies and wigglies of different, variations of the green and the browns, and that's it, and just kind of call it. But I mixed a few of the colors I saw because they're in there and they're different. They're grays, but they're, like I said, they're like a purple gray. Hey, where are we at? We're at 2 hours. Okay, so we'll just put this purple gray in there. Okay, where to put it? Purple gray. There it is. Like I said, who would think, I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me pull it back there. But it's weird. It's like, it's in there. Get rid of that other color still. Still got green in there. Okay, here we go. I was just wondering, I'm having a lot of spine trouble, the lower spine, discs from a car accident. My neck has bone spurs. I was just wondering if my tremors, when your torso and your neck's leaning forward, because it's kind of like that's the way it is now. It's no longer like it was before when I was a little younger. It's just staying like crooked from being at the art desk and whatever, but there's that purpley gray. I'm just putting it in where I see it. Go around that a little bit. A dark one back here. It's like a circle, like all that out of focus look. but having the right color makes you feel good putting it in there. At least getting close, you know. I'm not going to put that to the surface. I'm going to just deflect paint. Yep, a little bit rounder. So I guess I got to go closer. That's all right. There we go. Okay, so it's got noise. Visual noise, we call it. Right here. Gets a lighter version of itself. Right here. That kind of blew out on me a little, but it looks good in the background. Here's a dark. The drawing will be covered because it's opaque paint. And it's that dark. Some areas are lighter. This green kind of gets mixed with the noise and the visual noise of what's going on all around the ground there. Just trying to make it look like some kind of, because there's going to be lights going in there, like right here. This will be almost like a glowing, like up in the trees, the top. Circular, out of focus shapes. That will be done with paint, but I kind of sprayed the wrong area here. So I'm just going to take that out a little bit. It'll look blurry, and there's a really nice bright one back here. It's right about here. It's underneath, actually, the whiskers. I'm just going to go around. That's really old paint, just circular. You can, I got to blur that. You can use this. Pick one more spot. I'll pick the same spot, but a little bigger. I'll get that one. That's too big. So we got to go to that one. It's a little bigger. And then you can erase with the shield. And you can kind of get that, get more circular. But I got to do a tint on it. Go back here, and I can kind of softly take out, just to remind me to put a little highlight here. I'm not going to erase that all the way out. I'm just going to kind of make a spot. So that's what's going to kind of go on. I'll bring this out this way. So I'll do this. Whoops. Look at this. Okay. So I will take the phone out of its holder. Give me 1 second. Okay. It's going to turn funny for a minute. There we go. That's the arm that holds it. Real old-fashioned way of doing it, right? Okay. So now I can just kind of do this kind of thing. Let me get this arm out of the way. Okay. So you can see all what's going on here more with the distance shot. References. And I'm always being watched by Mr. Grinch. He's always watching me. Somebody asked me how much I would sell that for. Here it is, just show you a little better. And I said, when I painted it for my studio, I painted it as a demo. And I said, I never figured on pricing it. There's hours in it, though. Many hours. So I said, I don't sell t-shirt artwork, and I'm not about to do that now. I made that for myself. And a demonstration. So here's where we're at with the painting. Okay, and there's those pencil lines. That's what they got to be like, the little dagger strokes. And there we have it. Okay, there's my drawer down below where I test colors while I'm, not test colors, but make sure the gun's spraying, that kind of stuff. And I just have my trays over here, which has stuff I need to grab real quick, And then a long shot of my studio. That's my shirt because it was too hot. And back there are the old glowing lights. They're special lighting. So for anybody new that's looking at my thing, I did tours before you can go on. It's just put the art that you do around you and have fun. And let me unplug this for a minute. For all my newbies, I'll just show a couple. I've shown this before. There's some aviation art. Portraits, I haven't done a lot of them lately. My cat. That's my cat. That's looks like my cat, but I got a picture that identical to my cat, and I painted it for myself. Black and White India Inks by Timothy John Luke Smith. Clayboard, same painting as there's Drew Blair's most famous poster, Power, back in the day. I got a lot of his posters framed and whatever, you know. This one here is the color version. I started it before I went to Drew's class, and I finished it when I got home. Some fun, easy paintings, hot stuff, sharks, you know. So anyway, I've showed this before. I'm just kind of showing my newbies. And I have the other stuff over here. You know, this hot light in here. Get the proper lighting. Whoops, come on, get in focus here, will you? There you go. Get an hot light. Color correct lighting. You're going to see color for what it is. You know? So, many paintings that aren't done. My two Mustangs, not done. I should be, there's Steve Leahy's painting I got when I guess I did the 543 thing. Look at that. That was a gift. Anyway, so that's my studio for those that are brand new. And I'm going to sign off. Thanks for hanging out with me. And I will see you next week working on the old fox maybe and getting him finished up. And then I'm going to go on to probably a rose that I took a photo of. And if I don't do the rose first, I have a shepherd, a German shepherd that's much more out of focus fur that I might be working on. But that's later. So, okay, guys, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next week. Take care.